Hello friends, this is Youheum. Thanks for joining me today. I've been practicing mindfulness, sustainability, minimalism, and wellness for 5 years. I was able to overcome my anxiety attacks, feelings of shame, and negativity through emotional decluttering. Today I'll be sharing the step-by-step guide to emotional detox and letting go, which can help you on your physical decluttering journey. If you've been feeling a bit lost in your practice of minimalism, or if you've been looking for the next step, I hope that the exercises that I'll be sharing will shed some light in your practice. If you're looking for tips on physical decluttering, feel free to check out my video, and you can also download the Minimalist Workbook. In my practice, emotional decluttering is the process of letting go of toxic influences, negative mindset, and self-destructive thoughts in order to bring emotional well-being. My focus is never really on denying negativity or eliminating feelings like anger, sadness, or loneliness, but it's on embracing and understanding my own feelings with clarity and mindfulness. Also, be sure to share with me what you are currently struggling with. What have you been feeling these days that you were not able to express to other people? And I would also love to know if you have any other techniques besides minimalism that you use for emotional healing and letting go. So the first step I recommend is to identify your goals, intentions, and needs. I know that external influences, criticism, and judgment can make us confused as to what our true needs and wants are. We might be thinking that we want more material abundance and external praise, but what we truly want may be self-love, support, and safety. When we have distractions around us and unwanted stimulation, we can easily forget what brings us real happiness. So for this exercise, I want you to ask solution-focused questions, and you can write this down in your journal or download my Minimalist Workbook for additional questions and resources. So the first question is, if I committed to minimalism and emotional decluttering, what would change in my life? And how will I be able to tell that I've done enough? What new opportunities can emotional well-being bring in my life? So instead of saying, my life is not the way I want it to be because of this and that, try to align with the statement, I want some major changes in my life for the better, and I can improve this part of myself. The second step is to know what your capacity and comfort level is, and this includes knowing your own limits. I know that we often try to do everything and be everything, which can lead to burnout. That's why it's important to be mindful of your own feelings and physical sensations while exploring your thoughts, memories, and negative emotions. I recommend following this exercise. So for example, this can be your answer to this question. I often feel angry at other people, and I recently felt angry when someone didn't agree with me. But when I was talking to my loving friend, I felt so much better. And in the future, I want to do more sharing and connecting to overcome my feelings of anger. But I know that sometimes this is not available, and when I can't talk with my friend, I can at least journal or take a walk in order to take my mind off of it and in order to feel a bit better. This approach allows you to find an alternative when immediate remedies are not available. So it's easy to want what we don't have because we are often reminded of our own physical lack. That's why it's crucial to focus on what you can do that's easy, readily available, and abundant in the present moment. So do what you can without forcing expectations onto yourself or onto others. The third step is to surrender. And I know that it's easy to say, just let it go to someone who's struggling. but it's difficult to empathize with their suffering and pain. To me, letting go is understanding the presence of suffering and embracing it fully. So I think it's a bit dangerous to assume that we can be without conflict and negativity in our lives. So we can't force perfection onto ourselves because we naturally have to deal with negativity in order to grow and move forward. We don't have to run away, destroy, or eliminate what we can't agree with. We simply have to be aware of the pain in order to dissolve it into light. In this exercise, I want you to focus deeply on your feelings to promote self-awareness. So don't let the small signs of inner conflict slip away, and try to stay mindful and present when anger or other emotions come up in your life. So this means focusing deeply on that anger and recognizing how you are breathing, how you're feeling physically, what your body temperature is, and just general sensation. If you're comfortable, I want you to ask yourself why you're so angry. It's best to acknowledge and accept your feelings without denying it and resisting it, even if the feeling is negative and unwanted. And if you feel overwhelmed, exhausted, simply let yourself cry and express your struggles with honesty. You don't have to assume that you have to be a perfect human being without vulnerabilities. You can be there for yourself and support yourself through this hardship and struggles. Additionally, I would love for you to read Debbie Ford's book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, to get started on shadow work, which is the practice of healing your disowned and buried emotions. The last step is to find and commit to what nourishes you, what brings you joy and happiness. So what are some practices that you can try out today or whenever you are ready in the future? You can also feel free to follow the blog link in the descriptions for a checklist of tools that you can use for emotional decluttering. I also want to add that minimalism may not be the solution that everyone is seeking. I feel that maximalists can also find emotional healing and nourishment. So I want us to all take our time, be gentle and flexible when finding the right tools for our unique selves. Also, you can find additional resources in my minimalist workbook, exclusive podcast episodes on Patreon, and my upcoming masterclass course, which you can sign up in my website. I hope that I was useful in some way. Thanks again for being here, my friends, and I hope to see you again soon.